Mysteries are great in tabletop RPGs, but they can be daunting. But after watching this video, you'll be able to run them easily for your gaming group. And when starting a mystery campaign, firstly you must break down what actually happened during the mystery. As an example, let's say that the butler murdered a local prince. That is what actually happened in our mystery. But next we have to create an obvious answer, or what it will initially look like. Because with mysteries, half the fun is that the first guess is usually not correct. There are red herrings. Now, a red herring is something, usually a clue in a story, that is intended to be misleading or distracting. In our example, our red herring will be that it looks like the chef killed the prince. This is because, on initial investigation, it looks like the prince was killed by poison after he ate dinner. This is a simple way to give complexity to your mystery. And really, you can start with either or. Perhaps you start with the obvious. It looks like the chef did it. And then you begin to add layers and eventually realize it was the butler. Whatever the case though, this helps you understand what the mystery is from a top-down perspective. As the person running the mystery, you need to know exactly what happened so that you can run it to the best of your ability. And by having a red herring or an initially obvious option, you can get away with having what appears to be a very simple mystery on the outside, as long as that red herring is very different from what actually happened. You can artificially create lots of complexity without needing to spend hours carefully crafting this complex mystery. But okay, you have your mystery, you know what happened, now what? Well, next, obviously, you have to make the clues. Clues are an important part of every mystery, but what new dungeon masters don't understand is that there are 3 types of clues in any given mystery campaign. And unfortunately, not understanding the 3 types of clues is going to derail your mystery campaign.
Hey everyone, before continuing with the video, I just want to give a shout out to the channel's affiliate and sponsor, Only Crits. Only Crits is an online store that specializes in dice sales and 5e adventure modules. They also carry in stock dice trays and other assorted D&D accessories. I personally love their spell scroll dice trays and their duck dice. I mean, look guys, they're ducks in dice. If that's not gonna sell you, I don't know what is. They also have other little small friends, like chickens or pandas. If you're looking for a fun one-shot, I'd recommend The Emperor's End, or if you're looking for a full adventure, I'd recommend The Mountain Killer. It's a short adventure only running from levels 4 to 6, but it packs a lot of epic adventure and mystery in those short 3 levels. And it's set up so that you can drag and drop this plot into your homebrew adventures really easily. I've got an affiliate link in the description below, and if you enter the code DUNGEON, you will get a discount on your order. If you want awesome dice, accessories, or adventure modules, check out my friends at Only Crits. And now, back to the video.
The 3 types of clues are givens, clues, and pointers. Let's start with the givens. A given is a clue that the party will just get. They require no rolls. Having these given clues are important because you don't want to hide necessary clues behind rolls. This is how you completely destroy your mystery campaign, because let's say you have an important clue buried behind an investigation check, but none of your players can roll above a 3. Well, guess what? Your story, your mystery is dead on arrival. You'll need to do some quick on-the-fly fix in order to keep the campaign moving. But then you run the risk of breaking your mystery campaign or giving a clue that you weren't planning to give. So you should always build in givens. Theoretically, your party should be able to solve the mystery with only the givens alone. It might be difficult, but it should be possible. A given in our prince example might be that the party walks in and are told that the prince has been poisoned. Perhaps they are told this by a townsguard or a member of the staff, but this is a piece of information they just have. Next, let's talk about clues. A clue in this context is a piece of information that the party has to search for, but they don't need rolls to get. An example of a clue would be a party member saying, "I'm checking underneath the table." And perhaps underneath the table there's a little bit of poison that they can see. That is a clue, and once again, we're not hiding this behind rolls. These clues help clarify the mystery. They give the party more information than just the givens. We can even consider entire NPCs clues. Perhaps the maid, where the prince was killed, knows about the rocky relationship between the butler and the prince. In that case, the maid is a clue. And we're not hiding this clue behind any roles. We are hiding it behind the party's own investigative abilities, which is usually enough. Givens and clues are the heart of any mystery campaign. But there is a third type of clue that you're probably more familiar with: pointers. These clues help to point the party in a given direction. These are clues that the party has to search for, but also need roles to get. Any clue that requires a perception check, an investigation check, nature, history, arcana, anything like that, that's a pointer. We use pointers to do two things: to clarify previous information or to point to other clues. Think of pointers like hints in your mystery campaigns. As an example, let's say you need to make an insight check when talking to the butler, and if you succeed on the insight check, your character detects just a little bit of disdain in the butler's voice when they're talking about the prince. This is not necessary to solving the mystery, but it is pointing at the butler that there are potential clues revolving around him or her. And remember, we are never making pointers necessary for a mystery, because even on the nights when your players are rolling their absolute worst, they should still be able to solve your mystery. Because for a moment, let's think about dice and detectives. The dice are an instrument of randomness. They show us the random chance in the world. But detectives in books and film and television don't do anything by accident. They are putting together the mystery. Whether the mystery is solved or not is not dependent on luck, at least in a good detective story. Therefore, in mystery campaigns, when it comes to the acquisition of clues that are particularly important, we need to get luck out of the equation. So now we know what happened in our mystery and we have our clues together. What's next? Well, we have to think about how this mystery is going to flow, because you don't want any dead ends. Usually, what I like to do is I like to create a clue web. This web shows the connections between clues, locations, and people. So literally, just take a piece of scratch paper and draw out how your clues connect. Perhaps after talking to the maid, your party gets pointed to the butler's house. That's a connection for our web. We see how this one clue or location affects the rest. And we can also see if our web is a little bit lacking. Perhaps when you're looking at the web, you realize that in order to get the hint to go to the butler's house, the party has to talk to the maid. This is a tabletop RPG. If you make a single specific route, the players are never going to go down it. Therefore, maybe we place different clues in other locations that will point towards the butler's house. By filling out this clue web, you will get a better understanding of how your mystery campaign will fit together. And you know that you're doing it right when it starts to look like an actual web, with hopefully at the center the answer to your mystery. Now, everything that I've just told you is well and good if you're running a one-shot, but we have to go a step further if you're wanting to run a full-on mystery campaign. At least a mystery campaign with a big overarching mystery. Because if your party is just working on the same mystery for 30, 40, 50 sessions, it's gonna get old. And worse still, it's gonna feel like they're making zero progress towards the mystery. So how the hell do we get around this problem? Well, it's kinda simple. We make smaller mysteries within a bigger mystery. If every 2 or 3 sessions the players are solving a smaller mystery within the greater mystery, it's going to feel like they are actually doing something. Example, perhaps you find the murdered prince. For 2 or 3 sessions, the party is trying to understand who murdered the prince. Eventually, the party realizes it was the butler. At least the butler was paid to do it. Despite hating the prince, the butler wasn't ever going to kill him except when he fell on hard times and some lucrative benefactor came around and paid him a lot of money to kill the prince. Now we have a new mystery. Who is this mysterious benefactor that ordered the butler to kill the prince? And then we repeat this process ad infinitum, or until the campaign ends. By always leaving off with another mystery or a few other mystery hooks, we can consistently keep the campaign feeling fresh. And despite you running a mystery campaign, this process also allows you to go outside of that genre. But whenever you're ready, you can throw out another mystery hook and get right back into the main mystery. And now with all this, you're ready to run a mystery campaign except for one final tip. And this might break your heart. With everything I've just said, with all the preparation you're going to do, you have to be willing to throw out that preparation. Because here's the thing, D&D is not scripted. Your players might put together the mystery quickly, but that's part of the fun. At their best, you want your players to be like Sherlock Holmes, and they want to have the agency to solve your mystery their way. They will do things that you don't plan for, and they will put together connections that you didn't even think possible. Somehow, because of his mustache, the party knows that the butler killed the prince. It makes no damn sense, but they're rolling with it, and you'll have to roll with it too. You prep a lot for a mystery campaign, and you might only use 25 to 50% of what you actually prepare. But you prepare it so that when the party comes along, you're not left fumbling. And in this regard, mystery campaigns are actually very much like sandbox campaigns. So if you want to learn how to run a sandbox campaign, check out this video right here. And thank you for entering the dungeon.